Have you ever realized that you don't multitask at all? Have you realized you are on a treadmill with the earphones, running or walking, and for a nanosecond you realize the music is not playing at all, and then the music plays? Have you realized when you are working with your headphones on a project or something on your computer that the music switches off or you don't listen at all? Welcome to another episode of the Stokout. Happy New Year to my most valuable viewers and who are returning, and the new viewers who are coming to this episode for the first time. Have a great 2024. I'm Priyesh. I'm a stroke survivor, a life coach, a management consultant, and a serial entrepreneur. I'm calling this episode Multitasking Realities and the Adaptive Powers of the Brain. We are going to talk about two examples today and see how the brain functions and how it is used in our current technology or artificial intelligence or machine learning or the algorithms we use for to power our devices or our apps or whatever, and how significant our brain is, that the brain's utility is converted into what we use as tech. Now, for example 1, brain's multitasking reality. Have you ever realized or wondered when you are on a treadmill and running or walking, and then you don't hear the music on your headphones or earbuds, and then realize that, oh, I've missed a part of the song or a part of what I'm listening, and then it comes back on, or when you're working or whatever. So before the stroke, I used to wear my headphones on the treadmill or wear the headphones where I'm working on something. And when the music switches off in my ear, or I can't hear the music, I always thought it is because of my focus that I can't hear the music. Also, we have come across people who tell us, please don't tell me multiple things at a time. I can focus only one thing at a time. Or people who can't remember what they said last week or 2 days ago or whatever, because the brain is trained for them that, like that is what we think, but I'm not talking about them. By this time you would have gotten to know that I'm a stroke survivor and had a impairment in my hand and leg. So when I went to rehab and got on the treadmill to make my legs coordinate with both of them, because it is muscle memory, as I have explained in the last episodes. So I had to coordinate my left foot and right foot at the same time to walk at a certain speed on the treadmill. I did that because the brain had to rewire the muscle memory to keep it in sync or keep my walking in sync. But when I was on the treadmill in the rehab, I used to wear a headset so that I can listen to music, and found out that sometimes I'm not listening to the music at all because I'm focused on my feet or the right foot, whether it lands properly, whether I'm walking properly or whatever. That I thought it is my focus on my feet that I couldn't hear the music. Even now, I can't chant my mantras or prayers in the morning when I hear external noise, or when I'm looking at the TV and want to look at the mobile. I can't sometimes grasp what is happening on the TV. I get distracted a lot these days after the stroke. And one of the things is when I'm on a conference call on Zoom or Skype or whatever now, I can't stare at the other person's face too long and speak at the same moment, because my brain is telling me do one thing at a time, or I can do only one thing at a time. So I tilt my face for a few seconds what I'm talking. Then I get my view again or stare at the person again, so that they can't see the difference, but I know the difference, because if I keep staring at them, I will lose my thought process. And this has been happening only after the stroke and not before the stroke. But I was unaware, or we are unaware of the brain's processing speed. You can look at it as a supercomputer chip where it is doing different tasks as the same nanosecond. Like now, you are watching this video on a device. The device has many processes running in the background based on how many apps are open, or how many tabs are open on your PC or whatever. That we are aware, but we don't know how it is processing the speed that your device is not lagging this video, or this video is not lagging for you when you see this video, or how it is coordinating the internet speed with YouTube or whatever. So that is how our brain works in the background. Now I will bust the myth. The brain is actually not multitasking at all. In the way we refer to multitasking in day-to-day work or a colloquial form. But the brain is doing a process called task switching or parallel processing as we know it now, or the research points out to that. So the brain is rapidly switching tasks in our brain that we can't see, and it is so fast that we think we are multitasking every time, every day. So if you are not hearing music on your headphones while on the treadmill or walking, don't worry. It is only how the brain functions. So our brain is a fascinating organ. So if you like my content, please like this video. And if you are a new viewer, please subscribe this channel, because the more likes the video has, the YouTube algorithm shows it to many more people, and they can get the input from this episode and this channel. So talking about algorithms, we will step into example 2, which is more interesting, and I'm calling this part of this episode Decoding the Adaptive Brain. I briefly touched on my adaptive brain in the locker room while I was in the rehab in episodes 2 or 3, but now is the time to explain it. I had and have the power to compartmentalize information which I see and hear into different compartments in the brain, and I think I'm pressed by it knowing. So I used to wear my winter clothes and go to the rehab by the underground train all alone. And the rehab had certain conditions, and one condition was everybody should be in sports clothing. So the routine was go to the rehab, change from your winter clothes to the sports clothes, and put your winter clothes, bag, and whatever belongings in the locker, and then go to the rehab. So many of you who know me, or many of people who know me, know that I was good in numbers, but I haven't challenged myself so much after the stroke as I used to challenge myself in my startup days. But numbers used to come naturally to me. So the locker had numbers. But the first 7 to 12 days, I would put my bag and go to the rehab and come down to the locker when the day finishes, and I can't or could not remember the number of the locker. So it was a paddle and key type of locker, and not a digitized locker where you can see which locker is your locker when you take the digitized card to the reception or whatever, as in my current gym, but it was a paddle and lock. So I used to go to every lock and try to open it because I could not remember the number. So this happened for the first 7 to 12 days. And then my brain said, "You silly fellow, you come to the locker in your winter clothes, change, and keep your winter shoes underneath the locker where you keep your bag and belongings. That is your locker." So it is so fascinating that the brain did not tell me the number but showed me a path or information it has in one bucket to help me to identify another solution which I want. And for the next 7 or 10 days, I used to do that only. So I used to go after the rehab, look at my shoes, open the lock, change into winter clothes, and come back home. And gradually, after 4 weeks, the brain rewired the numbers, and I could remember the number of the locker. So fascinating it is, because it not only got me the solution, but it gave me the quickest way to find the solution. Because I couldn't remember the number. So what's the next solution? The brain said the quickest solution is your shoe. And that is how the brain works to adapt your thought process in searching for a solution at that point of time. This process in algorithms, and that's why we began with algorithms, is called a greedy algorithm. So what a greedy algorithm does is it searches for the local solution first, then the global solution which the algorithm is trying to find. In my example, the local solution was the shoes. The global solution was the number which I couldn't remember. And that's how the brain works, and it is super fascinating that we are now feeding these algorithms on the way it has to work, but actually the brain also works in that way. And that is what I wanted to share in this episode, how the brain does not multitask, and the brain's adaptive power is so huge that we can't even imagine. And research now says we have only tapped 5 or 6%. So keep the brain happy by being positive first. Sleeping well 7 to 8 hours. So research has said 7 to 8 hours minimum is what is required for the brain's cells to regenerate. Please, 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 and drink adequate water, and so that you don't disturb any brain cells. Why water is important is because, have you ever heard anybody saying they have a hangover? Or have you said it? What happens in a hangover is, when you have alcohol, the body is trying to get all the water in the body to disintegrate the alcohol consumed in the body. The last place the body will go is to the brain. And when the water is drained from the brain, that is how or why you get a hangover or a headache in the morning. So if you drain the water from the brain, the cells in the brain are going to get bad or damaged in the long run. So the takeaway from this episode is, be positive, give your brains good vibes, sleep well for 7 to 8 hours minimum, and drink adequate water to not damage the brain cells. That is a wrap for this episode. I hope you like this content, and if you have not liked this video till now, please like it and share it, and we will see you on the next episode. Take care.